If you are serious about growing your YouTube channel, you're going to love this video. I have two special guests on sharing what they wish they knew back when they started their YouTube channels. We're going to be going through 10 specific strategies with about 25 different tactics. And so this is a power pack session. This was recorded recently, and we're going to be diving into this. So get ready to take notes, smash like if you are fired
This
up.
special
And I'm
interview
excited with to get into this session.
Welcome to this special interview with Matt DeMeo and Timmy Danso that are going to be breaking down what we wish we knew when starting YouTube. We have 10 concrete strategies for you, probably 25 tactics, and we're going to get straight into it. And I want to first welcome Matt DeMeo to the show. Now, Matt he teaches you how to learn. And he produces how to focus, how to learn, how to study. He helps people raise their GPAs. He has over 154,000 subscribers on YouTube. And so I want to welcome Matt to the show today. And Matt, thanks so much for being here. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your story, and we're going to check out your channel while you're telling us.
Wonderful. Well, first of all, Sean, I am both pleased and honored to have an opportunity to be presenting with you. I'm a huge fan of what you guys are doing at VRA. The value that I'm getting is really remarkable. You know, I'm self-taught as a YouTuber. I just celebrated my 70th birthday, and I got into this whole YouTube thing only a couple of years ago because I unexpectedly had a video that I had that one right there. I had that video suddenly take off after it was on YouTube about 2 years. It started to get some traction. And then 4 years later, it actually started having a lot of growth very quickly. I mentioned it to a friend of mine that all of a sudden I had this little orphan video take off, and he asked me if I was monetized. At that point, I really didn't know what he was talking about. And so I began to learn about what the story was. That one little video got me enough subscribers and enough watch time that I was instantly qualified for the YouTube Partners Program. And so I began to throw myself into it, but I was completely self-taught. And so I've struggled a good bit, but coming across your training has been really enlightening to me. And it's just been a tremendous help. So yeah, with 156,000 and change subscribers, over 8 million views on my videos, I am a man on a mission to make a positive, lasting difference in the lives of students of all ages around the world. Because I have students that are, continuing learning adults, all the way down to, the majority of my audience are college kids. And so that gives you a little bit of insight as to where I'm at and what I'm doing.
Man, I love it, Matt, and so grateful you're here and a VRA member, and love how you're helping people learn everything faster and easier. And excited to get into some of your tips. But we also have with us today Tammy Danso, and Tammy is an incredible artist. She was a mechanical engineer turned full-time artist who now creates art videos on YouTube. She has a YouTube short out on her personal channel and on her Instagram that's so inspiring, of all the milestones that hit in like a year of her life. And one of those things, becoming a full-time artist and growing to 350,000 subscribers on YouTube. But in just the last month, you had 11 million views and 30,000 new subscribers in just the last month. So we're excited to learn from you. But Tammy, can you break down a little bit of your story for the VRA fam and the challenge crew?
Yes, definitely. And first, I'd just like to say thank you so much for having me. I'm also massively honored to be here. 2 years ago, I was part of the 7-day challenge, and I've still got my notebook and my color-coded notes from then, and it was incredible then. And so I'm psyched for you guys, and make sure you're taking your notes. You're definitely going to get so much value from it. But for me and on my channel, I started YouTube around 10 years ago. However, it was very sporadic, very random videos, as we can see. It was mostly even just pictures. And then I came back around 2 years ago with a goal of just just uploading drawing tutorials ever so often. I was also doing bullet journal videos at the time. Yeah, this is my first this is my first video back, where I was just trying to get back into the YouTube thing, or trying to get into the YouTube thing. And kind of similar to Matt, I really didn't know what I was doing. I was just kind of doing drawings and just uploading what I thought speed drawings, and my content changed a lot. I went into more bullet journal and more planning videos, and then I also proceeded to do drawing tutorials where I was teaching people and just showing them my entire drawing process from start to finish. And that's basically the journey of my YouTube channel. At the moment, I do more challenge style videos. So I have the learning side where people want to improve their own art, and I try to teach them. And now I do 1 color challenges, 3 color challenges, and just trying to produce art. And I'm so incredibly honored to be able to do art now full time. It's just an amazing privilege, and I'm so grateful to God. But yeah, that's essentially my YouTube channel. I'm now a full-time artist.
Man, your story is so inspiring, and we're going to get straight into these tips and lessons, and we'll just kind of be going back and forth. But the first tip today is you got to start and be consistent. And one of the things you had mentioned as we were kind of hearing about some of your tips preparing for this, Timmy, was the power of consistency. And so expand on that a little bit of what you've noticed from being consistent on YouTube.
Yes, I think starting is the hardest bit, but realistically, being consistent is almost the fuel that will keep you going. And I think Sean uses the analogy of a snowball. And honestly, you can't gain momentum if you're not consistent, and consistency is what brings that. But consistency is so important because your audience gets used to expecting you at a certain point, but it also makes you focus, and it keeps you on track to just continue to create the content. It's so important. It can't be understated. For me on my channel, when I came back 2.5 years ago, that's when I decided every single week I was doing 1 video every single week without fail. I'm not saying you should do it also. We all have our different plans and we have our different lives. I think just choose something that works for you and just stick to it.
I love that. And Matt, I'm curious for you. You've uploaded 65 videos on your channel. What have you noticed about just being consistent on YouTube over the years?
Well, I've got to confess that I did not start out being very consistent at all. And that, I guess, was a real issue for my viewers. But the more I began to put videos up, and I began to get feedback in the comment section from viewers all over the world, and I suddenly realized that I'm making a difference far from what I expected. I thought I'd have some impact, but the type of testimonials and comments that people write to me are so over the top about the lives that I'm touching with this. I don't want to sound too corny, but Sean, you came from the church background, but I'm from the Blues Brothers movie. I'm on a mission from God, and I found out that as a result of consistently posting, my audience is now, I've been able to build a real relationship with them. When they show up on my premieres, I know them by their usernames and I interact with them. And so I'm building relationships with people who have names that cannot be spelled with my alphabet.
So amazing. And that brings us to point number 2, which is create a content plan. And yeah, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And so in just a second, Matt, I want to hear a little bit about how you come up with content and how you plan your content. But Timmy, you were really serious, or you really were passionate about this point. What is your tips on this one?
Yes, I think we can say consistency, be consistent from now till next year, but how do you actually go about it? I think a plan is really what will help you. So I had a content calendar. So I said I wanted to upload 1 video every single week, and I had 52 rows down my page every single Sunday, which was my upload days, and video ideas. One thing, you can never run out of video ideas. You need to have a running list of ideas that you can easily swap in. I think it's so important to have a plan, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. But ultimately as well, I think when you have a plan, you can easily go into it and you never have to be stuck, basically. But with my content plan, what helped me so much was having that list, like I said. And also at different times of the year, you want to know when you can drop different nuggets. So for example, with my bullet journal content, all the creators did plan with me videos, let's say the third week of the the previous month. And for me, I wanted to get ahead of it. I wanted to rank my videos. So I actually uploaded mine the second week of the month. So my videos came up on people's search before. And because I was alert and I knew the timing, I could easily implement that. And I got more views that way. So you can apply this to your own content as well. If it's got to do with Black Friday sales, if it's something to do with Christmas, back to school, just make sure you create a plan and then you can actually execute on it.
I love that. Yeah, one of the things we talk about at Think a lot is the word foresight. And without a plan and looking ahead, then sometimes holidays can come up on you by surprise. But you start, the further you look ahead, you go, okay, like you said, Black Friday. Okay, am I going to do something around Thanksgiving? Is there a holiday? Is there something relevant? You know, Matt is thinking back to school, right? You could be thinking about when are college students going back to, when are they cramming for tests and these different things. But if it's too late when that is actually happening, and a lot of times, you know, it's the pre-planning that can help us that by looking ahead on our content calendars. And I'm curious, Matt, you know, when it comes to your plan, you have a particular type of content and you have so many different good video ideas. You know, how is it that you come up with your video ideas and plan them out ahead of time?
Well, there's actually a couple of things that I do, and you really kind of got into my shoes there for just a quick moment. I do plan the release of different content around what I think that the majority of my students are going through at that moment. So I've really taken the time to look at my analytics and see who my audience is and see the type of things that they're doing. And so when I know that college students are taking final exams, I publish more things that have to do with exams. When it's a normal school semester and things of that nature, I'll deviate a little bit. So one of my recent videos was on building self-discipline and how you can program your mind to create more self-discipline, not a school-specific subject, because so many of my people have written comments about, gee, I can't even get motivated. I can't get myself to sit down and do what needs to be done. So I'm responsive to their needs, but I look at their schedule and what their calendar looks like, and I plan my content around what I think will be most useful for the majority of my audience.
I love it. And that brings us to tip number 3, which is learn how the algorithm works. And now this is everything. Of course, watching this, even if we've been doing this for a while, even if we're already a VRA member, there's something that we constantly are learning about, constantly trying to understand. And so, Matt, you know, the algorithm determines who your videos are served up to. What have you learned about the YouTube algorithm strategically?
You know, that has been a problematic issue for me, and I'm glad that you brought that up. What I noticed was that regardless of what I do, I'm discovering that it seems to me that students from a variety of different countries, other than what I was expecting, were consuming my videos at a much higher rate. So the United States, I'm in Tampa, Florida, and so the United States is only my number 2 market. The place where my videos are most viewed is India, of all, and it's almost twice the amount of people in India viewing my videos as in the United States. In my top 5, I've also got the Ukraine and Russia. I had no idea. And that's also affecting my YouTube partnership ad revenue, because I don't generate as much RPM or CPM as somebody that has, like, for example, a golf channel where the viewer is a upper income person with a lot of disposable money. I have college students in foreign lands, so I'm paying a lot more attention right now to how to create content that's going to get viewed in Australia and England and the United States and Canada. And so it's been a struggle for me to figure those things out.
I think there's a couple insights there for me. One, when you start, sometimes you don't know what's going to happen or who's all going to be interested in your content. But 2, also thinking about who will find this content interesting, or what content do I need to create next that would be the right content for, if you will, my ideal audience. And actually, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, because I want to go back into CPM and RPM and all that kind of stuff a little bit later and get geeky on some monetization stuff. But Tammy, I want to actually ask you a little bit about your experience with the algorithm and your tips. But one thing I also noticed on your channel, which is a 2022 strategy for sure, and that is this, that some of your biggest view, not some of your top 8, 12, 14 videos are actually YouTube shorts, with your top video being a YouTube short from 2 months ago with 14 million views, getting 625 views an hour. So the algorithm is clearly pushing out shorts on your channel. 11 million views in the last 30 days. Pretty crazy. A lot of new subscribers. What are some of the things you're noticing about the YouTube algorithm right now, and how you've understood how it works?
Yeah, so I'll definitely say the YouTube algorithm for normal videos, it still pushes that content out. But like Sean just said, it is pushing shorts like crazy. So I would encourage everybody to jump on shorts. It doesn't have to be separate. Like, you don't have to think of it as a different social media website. I think you can just add it to your content. So there was a time where I really wanted to grow with shorts. And so I was doing one shorts every single Sunday alongside my regular videos. Do whatever works for you. Like I said, come up with a plan for yourself. But for me and shorts, I was already familiar with short form content because I was familiar with TikTok and I was doing a lot of that content, and it has a different style to it. I know people struggle with how to best put their content into short form. I think the first thing to do is to consume short form content. It's very different to long form, and there's no point you trying to squeeze something that doesn't want to be squeezed in. Basically, it's mostly, I would say, entertainment and just quick, easy, bite-sized content for me on my art channel. But it has been amazing. It has 10x my growth. It has grown my channel so much. I think I hit 100K in December, and now I'm at 350K, and we're in April, and that's mostly down to shorts. So I would encourage everybody to, have a go at YouTube Shorts.
And the biggest, most viewed video on Think Media now too, with 7.5 million views or something, is a YouTube short. And so
Wow.
shorts are definitely something that the algorithm is favoring, because they want to compete with TikTok and Reels and short form content. YouTube wants to be in that game. And so that's definitely something to consider. Now, number 4 is improve your video quality. Of course, when you think about starting, you got to just punch fear in the face. Just use whatever you have. It's encouraging to see some of Matt's early accidentally. He's like, I uploaded a video and this video did well. And, even Timmy's like, some of my early stuff was just a picture or whatever. But as time goes on, we really want to level up our video quality. And what's interesting is you mentioned that audio is actually more important than video. What have you learned about that?
Yes, I'll 100% say someone is more likely to stay with a bad quality or not 4K video if the audio is crisp compared to a good video and bad audio. So when you're ready to upgrade your stuff, and first, I'll just like to say, start with your phone. I still use my phone for a lot of my filming. I do have a camera as well, but I still use my phone for a lot of it. Definitely start with your phone. The audio quality on your phone is actually good enough as well. But when you're ready to upgrade, the first thing you should think about is a microphone. It's just going to up your content so much, and then you can think about upgrading your video and everything else. But another underrated tip is lighting, because you can have the best camera, the best phone. In bad lighting, it's never going to be good. So sit in front of a window or buy lights if you live in the UK, because the window is not really doing anything for us. And yeah.
Yep. And, of course, I want to encourage you. We have our Think Media channel, which is free, and Nolan and Omar, myself, Heather, we're over there helping with audio, helping you with all kinds of video editing and all that kind of stuff. So you probably know that by now. But I also, if you haven't entered yet, we are giving away a YouTube studio. So you can go to winthistech.com. There's 8 days left, winthistech.com. And remember, start with what you have. One of the things Tammy told me was focus on creating the best videos, but don't be a perfectionist. Just work on improving one thing at a time. And that might be just getting a mic off Amazon, or getting a tripod, and maybe just improving where you film your videos during near the window or whatever. But, if you go to wintHisTech.com, we are going to be giving away a Sony ZV-E10 and a light kit and a microphone. And so highly recommend entering over there. And we're going to keep it moving, because I'm excited to geek out a little bit on some little known terms. And that is, understand the YPP, the CPM, and RPM. What did Sean just say? Right. And so understand the YouTube partner program, understand CPM and what's the difference between CPM and RPM. We're going to bring Matt back, and he touched on this a little bit earlier. But Matt, what have you learned? You mentioned, understanding that it affected your CPMs and RPMs, different viewers. And so explain what you've learned about the partner program and what your experience has been here.
Well, this is one of the things that I really wish that I knew a lot more about, because it's been a little bit frustrating. The um, the way I generate revenue through the partner program, I didn't realize, especially getting started, and I'm only beginning to understand it better now, that where my videos are viewed, the country that they're viewed in, and the audience that they're being displayed to is going to significantly impact the amount of money that I generate. And so I'm looking for ways to figure out how to do it better. And it was one of those things that I put on my list of things that I wish I knew, because quite frankly, Sean, I wish I knew it better even right now. Because I'm focused on it, because I'm aware that this is an issue, I am really focusing my content in a way that helps me drive my audience to, higher paid RPM. But I don't really have a good feedback other than what I've just said.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's also what I'm here for. And so I think everyone would benefit a little bit from this conversation. So the YPP is the YouTube partner program. Once you hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time minutes within the last 12 months rolling, you're allowed to apply. And once you get approved for monetization, then you can start earning money from views on your videos, but only if ads play. So just because you get 1 million views doesn't mean that an ad played on every single one of those videos. Even if you turn ads on, YouTube does decide whether or not they want to play an ad, and people can use ad blockers. And so what ends up happening is, again, you're only going to get paid if people actually see an ad. And it's how many monetizable views you have. And then CPM stands for cost per milli. We're going to get kind of geeky, and these are some pretty cool numbers. And so no need to compare, but we could break down what we can learn here. In the last year of Think Media, our CPM was $20, and that's per 1,000 views of an actual ad playback. We earn $20.74. Now that's pretty high, because a lot of times it's about $2 to $5 is the average CPM on YouTube. If you have a lot of international viewers or a lot of young viewers, it can be even lower than that. But this number is not how much you make. That's how much YouTube charges advertisers, the CPM. Now, the RPM is actually how much you make. It's the revenue per 1,000 views. And then YouTube's kind of tricky with this one, because they combine your super chat and any kind of memberships and things in here. And luckily, for our sake, for accuracy, we don't have channel memberships. We don't do a ton of live streams on Think Media or anything, so it doesn't get too convoluted with super chats. And so here's what we're discovering, right? At least in our case, we make less than 50%. We make about $9. YouTube makes 11. We make 9 when it comes to our RPM. And this was over 2021 for our channel. And a couple tips there, as Matt mentioned, we're talking about software and cameras. So a lot more premium tech companies and whatnot want to advertise on our channel. Our viewers are serious in a lot of cases because it's educational. We're not really in entertainment, although we hope to be edutainment. Our content is tutorial based, education based, and it attracts people like you that are serious creators, and a large viewership in the US as well as internationally. So those types of things can drive up your channel. If you have a lot of international viewers watching live streams of cats, just kind of compilations of cat videos, you might get a lot of views, but your CPM could be a lot lower. And I know it's kind of a shocking number, but that's why in a year's time, we generated almost $400,000 on Think Media because of high CPM, because of the views we're getting, and also the quality of views we're getting. And so definitely something to know a little bit. And I'm curious with Tammy, as far as, I don't want to jump ahead too much. But as far as ad revenue, and Matt's going to be sharing later too, he's got a course and some books and some other things happening. But what percent of your overall business being able to do this full time do you rely on your ad revenue?
So my ad revenue is a pretty high percent at the moment, and that's because I've got other things in the works, but they're not quite there yet. However, my ad revenue is nowhere near Think Media's. I get the $2 to $5 that you were mentioning, because as an art channel, there's just advertisers not really trying to do that. But yeah.
And I'm curious what's happened with the Shorts fund. That's one other thing we should touch on. YouTube Shorts minutes watched do not count towards monetization, and Shorts can be watched on desktop, so you can actually earn some traditional ad revenue through them, but they actually pay you separately through what's called the Shorts fund. I know for us, we had a 7.5 million viewed short, and we made around $100 from it. Whereas if we get 7.5 million views on Think Media, we make $25,000 based on our full length content. So it's pretty crazy. So are you been getting some Shorts fund revenue separately?
Yes, I have. And I think on average, I make like $1,000 from YouTube Shorts for, I don't know how many views I do from Shorts. It's definitely not comparable. And from traditional AdSense, those Shorts videos get like a 1 penny each. But yeah, there is a chunk from the Shorts fund as well.
We're deep. That's some good kind of insights and some good thinking. And, contextually, I would say too, it sort of speaks to, well, I shouldn't do Shorts because it doesn't pay as well in AdSense. Well, no, Shorts are reach, it can be viewership. It also depends on your niche, but it's so encouraging to hear $1,000 from YouTube Shorts views and growth. And then there's also something to be said if you're really thinking about, and this is what we talk about in Niche Finder, right? Really thinking about your proficiency, also your passions, and then also what's the most profitable. The niche you select can influence the ad revenue, or not only can, will influence how much ad revenue you get, how much CPM, RPM, and all those kinds of things. But we're going to keep it moving. And if you've been enjoying this, smash the hearts and the like button in here in the Facebook groups, because if you're missing this, then you're missing out. I'll tell you what, right? VRA and challenge, this is some pretty good stuff. Number 6, though, is we're talking about optimize your thumbnails, titles, and your description. We're going to start with Timmy, and you really know that thumbnails and titles are a big deal. What have you learned about these?
So much. I'll say, I don't know about you guys, but when I go on the YouTube homepage, I'm clicking all of the ones that catch my attention. And that's exactly what your thumbnail also needs to do. And you're really in competition against anyone else that person might be interested in. So it's so important. I think for me personally, it really needs to evoke curiosity. Someone needs to know what they're getting. So you don't want a repetition from your title to your thumbnail, but you need it to complement each other really well. And yeah, just what would you actually click on if you think about it? And something I've tried implementing recently are trying to do 3 main elements so that it's not too crowded. I'd do maybe a face, maybe an object, if it's a pencil, an iPad, and then a bit of text. So you don't want it to be too crowded as well, which is something I definitely struggle with, but you want to have enough information so someone is willing to click on it, but then actually get them to click. And if you think about it, you might have the best video of all time. It could be a 10 out of 10 video. You've improved everything. You've put all your learnings into it. But if nobody clicks on it, nobody's going to know that it's the best video. So just focus on actually getting people to click on your videos by really creating eye-catching thumbnails and titles as well.
I love it. And Matt, tell us a little bit. You talk about, video descriptions and thinking about keywords, taps in a little bit of Video Ranking Academy. What have you kind of learned in that area?
Well, first of all, the idea of being able to write a description that is friendly to the YouTube algorithm has been really helpful. And I keep getting a little better with each video that I've been doing. On my most recent video about the 3 things that top students do differently, I'm seeing a big change in the trajectory of how fast that video caught on, because I really studied what some of my competitors are doing in the same niche that I'm in, to take a look and see what are the descriptions. I subscribe to vidIQ and also to TubeBuddy, and so I use both of them to help me come up with the keywords. And I've gotten a lot better at putting these keywords into the sentence description underneath my videos. Um, Also, going back to thumbnails for a moment, I've been making my thumbnails a lot simpler. Big text with a value proposition right up front. Um, and a lot of times I'll repeat most of my title in the thumbnail itself, because I know that sometimes people just don't like to read the little text underneath the video. And it's, you know, if I can bonk them on the head a little bit and go, hey, this is what the video is about, because people have so much choice and you've only got a moment to catch their attention. I'm doing everything that I can to really focus them in on, here's what you're going to get. Here's how you benefit from this video.
Man, I love it. Some really good tips there. And one of the things, you know, so you have current information as well. Is description still a really good way to communicate with the YouTube algorithm, particularly the first sentence. Tags carry a lot less weight these days, but your title carries a ton of weight. And what I love is, I agree, your thumbnails are very clear. I love how short this title is, how clear this title is. And one of the most powerful things, Matt, that I see you also doing here is chapters. And so, you know, chapters, especially in a video where there is teaching or education. I love we can get to proof of the experiment and we can navigate the video. We've learned that chapters can be and are indexed even on Google search, and parts of our videos find their way to Google search because of using chapters. And, you know, to do that, you can just add time codes and you start off with 00:00. And once you just type these in here with something next to them, it turns into the chapters on the video, and highly recommended. They're called time codes or timestamps, and they turn into chapters. And YouTube actually allows you to, you can see it right here. If you click here, YouTube breaks it up into a whole chapter section where you can organize your video. And not only have we taught about that in VRA extensively, but in VRA Masters and some of the updates we're continuing to add. Be ready, because we've learned a ton about chapters lately as well. All right, this is an exciting topic that we're getting into next, but we've talked about start and be consistent. 2, create a content plan. 3, learn how the algorithm works. 4, improve the video quality. 5, understand the YouTube Partner Program, CPM and RPM. 6, optimize your thumbnails, titles, and description. But number 7, we're talking about creating multiple streams of income. And so, man, you need money for the mission. How do you fund this thing? And what's so cool is whether it's Tammy or Matt, they have different business models. Yesterday, if we learned from Sean Chandler and from Christina, they have different business models. And so we're going to start with Matt, though, and tell us a little bit about your income streams, sponsors, anything that you're doing when it comes to creating multiple streams of income.
Well, first of all, one of the things that I wanted to do was to be able to collect data on my audience. So in the description underneath the video, in one of the little sections, I offer a free report about how to triple your memory power without mnemonics or association or memory tricks. And so they can then opt in to get information. And now I've got them on an email campaign. I've got them on an email list so that I can communicate with them directly. Another thing that I did is I've started making courses available. Now I've got one course that's up and running right now. I keep the tuition extremely low because I know my audience, and it's on how to have an incredible memory. I've also got inexpensive books. There you go. That's the page. I've got some books on Amazon that I like to direct people to. And so I recently started offering merch on my channel. I'm still learning about how to do that a little bit better. So I've got my own line of coffee mugs and some t-shirts and things of that nature. That's going to take a little while for me to understand that better to take off. But I've got a lot of other stuff planned. But one of the things that I'm going to be doing is really with my live streams, I'm hoping to be able to attract people who, just because they dig what I'm doing, want to donate a little bit of money. I've spoken to other, professional YouTubers that say that sometimes the audience can be very generous. And I like that idea.
Man, so many inspiring ideas, and kind of speaks to that there's so many different paths you can create to prosperity in the creator economy. It's really about picking out what works for you, maybe things you're passionate about. But I want to hear from Tammy. And now you've grown so much. You got 350,000 subscribers, but we can get into some of the ways you're monetizing the most and some of the things you did early on. But you had a warning. You actually said don't worry about sponsorships early on because some brands want to prey on small creators and it's not worth the hassle. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yes, I think I can speak for any small creator. When you get that one email, like a brand is actually looking out for you, it's amazing to receive that email. But a lot of brands, especially early on, they want to give you, they want to ask so much from you. And I don't think it's worth it. I think it's much more beneficial to use that time to actually build your audience, build your community, and build people that know, like, and trust you. On the other hand, I do think you can do other monetization opportunities. So for example, affiliate marketing, that's something I started very, very early on. By the way, I'm not saying don't do sponsorships early on. I'm just saying those brands that are telling you buy the product and then give you your firstborn child and all of that, don't do that. But stuff like affiliate marketing works so well. It's even when you're smaller. And I think especially if you're in a niche. So for example, when I was doing bullet journal content, every single plan with me, I was using my planners. So guess what? I would link my planners, and I was getting a good $500 to $1,000 every month with 4,000 subscribers. And yeah, it's almost understated all the different avenue streams you can have, but don't fall into the trap of just taking any sponsorship because it came up.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And what you'll notice to spot these, sometimes even on Instagram, you'll get somebody that'll say, hey, like, we want to sponsor your channel, we want to feature you. And then they'll say, okay, so all you got to do is first buy the sunglasses or buy the stuff. And you might get emails, we want to put you in our network, we want to do, and I agree. You kind of want to avoid that stuff. It could be tempting, it could be a distraction. Focus on building your influence, focus on building momentum, and take the power back in your hands. Yes, you should definitely maybe take the right sponsorships. But one of the other things you're doing, Tammy, is Patreon. Speak a little bit about that and expound on what you've learned here.
Yes, so I recently started my Patreon. By recently, I mean last week. Literally 1st of April is when I opened it. But for me, it's just a place to have exclusive content for your super fans that want to connect with you even deeper. So some of the rewards, like you can see on screen, early access to videos and up to monthly live streams. And it's just a chance for me to give people a little bit extra. On YouTube, you want to make the video educational, but also entertaining. And this is just a place to go deeper. So the people that want the extra tutorials or the extra long drawing tutorials, they can get access to that. So that's what I use Patreon for.
I love it. Well, that was number 7, create multiple streams of income. Number 8 is tap into the power of YouTube Live. And we'll go back to Tammy in just a second and look at one of her recent live streams. But Matt, this is something that you're doing. I'm curious, if you're just streaming live on YouTube, you touched on it earlier about building that out. Do you multi-stream it all? Do you keep it on YouTube? And what have you learned about going live?
Well, I haven't done very many lives. The few that I've done, the interaction with my audience has been really quite rewarding. I'm doing YouTube on a very part-time basis because even though I'm a much older guy, I still have clients that I write content for them. And so my schedule doesn't always allow me to be as active on YouTube as I might like. But doing live streams has been, for me, one of the most rewarding experiences because I'm able to interact immediately. And most of my videos are scripted and I'm using a teleprompter. But when I am, free flowing with my audience, that's just a hoot. For many years, I was a professional speaker. So I was on stage, traveling around North America, doing shows, doing presentations. And that is the closest I've come to having that feeling back again of being able to interact with my audience live. So I'm planning on doing that a whole lot more. I've struggled a little bit with the scheduling issues. I'm not sure what the story is, but it's something that I definitely need to learn better. And while you have me here today in the position of a teacher, really I'm an eternal student. You know, that's why I'm here, because I've learned a long time ago that the best way to learn is to teach, but also I've never stepped out of the student role myself. So I'm always looking to pick up every little nugget I can.
Man, I love that. I'm right there with you, Matt. And I agree. YouTube Live can give you such a cool interactive opportunity with your community. And you know what we'd also recommend in light of ease of scheduling, and one of our favorite tools is exactly what we're using right here. Now, of course, we can we'll put our affiliate link, you know, if you haven't signed up for StreamYard, but we really believe in it that much. Like it makes it so easy to. Right now we're going live in our VRA group for the VRA show this month. We have our challenge going on, so we're going live there. Yesterday we went live in those two groups and on our Think Media podcast channel. But it's so cool because scheduling is very easy. You can upload your title ahead of time, your description content ahead of time, your thumbnail ahead of time. And yes, for sure, there's a learning curve, but I've used some very complex live streaming tools, and you might be kind of intimidated by live streaming. I'm sure if you're watching this, oh, like there's so much to think about, and you don't want to be thinking about the technology and the tools. You want to be able to focus as much as you can. And even thinking about this, like I'm managing this show by myself. I'm able to bring Tammy on, share my screen, put the banners up. I've been doing this for a while, so I've developed but StreamYard makes it easy. I'm able to just in the back end here, you know, click on the banners and throw up the banner about tap into the power of YouTube Live, which actually really brings me to, I want to hear from Tammy here about what you've learned. And I've got one of your live streams up. I'm curious, you know, what kind of software are you using? And what's kind of neat here is it looks like you're doing kind of like a draw with me live, which is kind of cool. Break down what you've learned here and what you like, or some tips about YouTube Live.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, this is very embarrassing to have on screen because this was my first live stream and it was a mess. But I will second that StreamYard, 10 out of 10, because if you look at the YouTube for lives, it's so complicated.
It's
but
scary. Yeah.
It's very scary, but
Yeah.
StreamYard made it so much easier. And I think personally with lives, just to echo some of what Matt was saying, the connection with your audience. So that was a draw with me. I was just, you know, doing a bit of drawing and just even being able to communicate with them live. It's such an underrated thing because you would think, oh yeah, I reply to comments all the time, but it's so different. And I mean, for your favorite creators as well, how do you feel when they call your name out? I feel like it's just an amazing, amazing feeling. So, oh yeah, this is my second live, slightly better, still on StreamYard, but this is me doing diamond painting, and it was just amazing to answer questions, have things up on the screen, just incredible.
Man, so cool. And so if this doesn't sound right for you, you're not ready yet, then you don't got to do it yet. But know that there's some cool things in your roadmap of building your creator career. And I like what Matt said too. If you want to use a teleprompter, use one. One of my favorites is the Parrot teleprompter, because you can actually just put your phone on there, get a little teleprompter app on your phone, put your phone up in front of your camera. You may need two phones if you're using your phone. I got two phones. Okay. That's an option for you. Or, you know, the power of editing is it makes anybody you think looks really great, right? Like, oh man, they're such a good communicator. They're probably not as good as you think because they're cutting out the ums. They're able to kind of reshoot different parts of their content. So the key is to just take massive action. If you feel confident to go live, go live. If you want to, experiment with editing, experiment with editing. Do a little bit of everything because it'll help you get better and experiment with more things, which brings us to tip number 9, which is keep learning, growing, and studying. Now, Matt already kind of mentioned on this. We agree. Lifelong leaders are lifelong learners, right? We continue to learn. We continue to level up. I want to talk to Matt a little bit more about this in a second, but there's interesting thing you said, Tammy, about also learning from other creators and not just creators in your niche. What have you discovered with that?
Yeah, so I think for most people that watch YouTube, you don't just watch a particular niche. And even though you might create content in a particular niche, I feel like you can get tips from all over. So I watch random like Mr. Beast videos and I can get information about the editing or the storytelling. I think there's so much to be learned just from consuming YouTube. So I think it's important to look obviously all over your niche as well. Look at the top creators, but just look at creators all around the board. Who do you enjoy watching? Why do you enjoy watching them? What keeps you staying until the end of their video? It's things that you probably little nuggets that you can then implement into your videos.
Yep, absolutely brilliant. And then Matt, what would you say when it comes to continuing your education, and maybe what are some things you've learned? You're a communicator, you're a speaker. You've sharpened your skills, not just as it pertains directly to things like YouTube. And so, how do you feel about investing in your learning and how you've just leveled up in business and all these areas?
You know, this is absolutely my favorite topic here. You know, is it's the ability to continually stay sharp. One of the things that I always do is I make sure that on every single video that I use a new editing trick. I use a new tactic that I've recently learned. I watch other people's YouTube videos with a much different eye than I used to, because when I was just consuming content and not creating it, I didn't notice all of the ways they edit or communicate or how they use B-roll. And now when I watch other people, regardless of what niche they're in, I like a lot of the music channels, and I notice how they communicate to their audience, how they do their editing, where they use their B-roll. And so I'm much more, I have more of an X-ray vision when I'm watching other people's YouTube channels. And then instead of just sitting back and looking at it, I try and figure out a way that I can make some of those ideas my own in my very next video. And so far, video after video, I've always come up with new tactics and new techniques that help improve my viewers' experience. And I get a kick out of it.
I love it. I love it. And we're going to get to number 10 in just a second. But I do want to remind you, if you're watching this in our challenge group, again, if you are ready to take your learning to the next level, if anyone here happens to be in the challenge group from VRA, let us know your experience. In the challenge, we're doing 7 sessions. It's all for free. But trust me, I mean, join us inside of the Video Rake It Academy, because that's really where you could take your learning to the next level. But before we get into point number 10, I just want to kind of ask you, Tammy, specifically, you joined during the challenge. What was helpful about VRA for you in helping you reach the results you've got on YouTube today?
So it was amazing. At the time, I had around 3,000 subscribers and I had floating ideas in my mind and I was trying to do everything. And it just helped me to really fine tune. I remember one thing in particular that really stood out for me, which was, I think, like a titling workbook or something. I don't know if I've got that wrong, but it just changed the way I saw my titles and how I wrote my titles, which just then leveled up 1% the next time. And honestly, even the mindset behind it. And I think I really love the company as well. And I love how it started with the mentor, and you have Heather, hyping us up, and the team, just everything about it just made this a family and a community that I really wanted to join. And then obviously the actual YouTube knowledge and the experience, you've grown a channel to over 1 million subscribers, so much information, wealth of knowledge. Honestly, the list is endless, to be honest.
I appreciate you sharing that too. And I'm curious, Matt, just your experience again, tackling YouTube. When did you join Video Rake It Academy and how'd you find it?
Well, I try and subscribe to as many different lists as I can. And it was around Halloween of last year, around the end of October, when I had come across one of your ads, and I attended some of the free seminars. And then when you ran your Black Friday special after Thanksgiving, that's when I decided to pull the trigger and join VRA. Because prior to that, I had already spent money on personal coaching, and I had spent more for one afternoon of personal coaching than the entire VRA program cost me. I spent $1,250, which was good money well spent. I got a lot of value from some coaches that I worked with, got a lot of value from it. But then when I joined VRA for hundreds of dollars less than that, and I've got all of these services, plus a community, plus a Facebook group to belong to, it's been one of the best things I've ever done. Because not only is there constant education, but there's also a community of other people that you can contribute a little bit about what you know. You can also see other people's perspectives on it. You can sit back and receive tremendous education from authoritative sources that know what they're talking about. So it's not just colored through one lens. You're able to see it, with a variety of perspectives. And I want to wrap up with talking about the idea of the basics. If we were talking about baseball, there's 4 basics: hit, run, throw, catch. If you can hit, run, throw, catch really well, and you never outgrow doing those 4 basics, the better you're able to do it, the more of a pro you are. And so VRA has helped me realize that I had jumped into the deep end of the pool without really understanding the basics at all. I just was using my gut instinct, having been a speaker and a writer and an author and a trainer. I knew I could communicate. I didn't really understand all of the mechanics about how involved and how much finesse I needed to use in terms of building my YouTube audience. And so I'm really glad I found you guys.
Man, so grateful for you and grateful you're a part of our community. And we still have number 10th point, and let our guests go at the top of the hour here. Thanks so much for being here. We got one more tip though for you, and it's not too late to start YouTube. Now I want to hear from them in just a second. And obviously they've had a lot of success, and Timmy in just a short amount of time has started a new channel. But a couple reminders, Forbes released this article that said the creator economy is currently valued at 20 billion, with estimations that it could be 104 billion by the end of 2022. YouTube alone is expected to generate 30 billion in revenue by the end of this year from self-made entrepreneurs. And remember that 30 billion, just like I showed you with CPM and RPM, about half of that money goes into the pockets of creators. The whole creator economy is valued at about 20 million. And so what does that mean? That's Matt making money also off of the books he's written and his course. And that's Timmy also as she's building out her Patreon. And it's all these different income streams. But what shocks me about this article is that it's saying how much growth Forbes is estimating in just the next 9 months, 5x growth. Whether you've been doing this for a while or whether you're just starting, there's a real wave happening right now, right? And of course, Sean, you'd say that to hype us up. Well, maybe, but this isn't based on my opinion. This is based on logic and real data, because this is the fastest growing type of small business. Like Heather was talking about surfing today with that analogy. It's a wave that's happening, and it's good to get positioned right now. It's good to double down right now. There's certain timing, there's certain moments where you want to take action to seize an opportunity. And we're really seeing this with, again, what we're calling this, not what we're calling this, what it's being called is the creator economy. Kind of a new class of self-made entrepreneurs working from home, working on their own terms. And so I'm curious about this first, Matt, and then Timmy, your thoughts is what do you feel like? I mean, as you've been doing this for a while, but you also have over 100,000 subscribers. When you look ahead at the horizon of what's ahead, what's kind of your perspective? What do you see ahead? What gets you excited? You mentioned you have some plans. What is your thoughts when you think about it not too late to jump into the game?
Well, it is clearly not too late. I think that we're just at the for me personally, I'm just at the beginning of where my journey is. Look, I got started with this whole thing in my late 60s, and like I said, I just turned 70, and I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in the years to come. This is not just a business for me. This is, like I said at the beginning, this is a mission that I am on. And now that I've learned better how to communicate with this new medium, I'm able to reach a worldwide audience. And as one man, I'm doing what I can to make a difference in the lives of future generations. And so I'm seeing really, really big stuff ahead for the content that I'm creating and for what I'm going to be delivering to my viewers. I always say, you know, everything that I teach does take a little bit of work and effort, but it's worth it, because the fastest way to get to the top is to get off your bottom.
Man, I love that kind of stuff. Like the Think Media team knows that kind of stuff, like pumps me up. And one of the things I love, Matt, is that you said you're on a mission, you know, and I think that's why we connect at such a heart level, because our mission at Think Media is to help purpose-driven people create a full-time living doing what they love while making a difference in the world with YouTube and online video. You're like what we consider, you know, a perfect student, just because you're literally helping people learn faster. And we hope to help people who help people. In fact, we talk about this on our team meetings, and we say, we don't want to measure success just because like you joined our program. We're successful when your students are successful. That's how we define success at Think Media. We're successful when Timmy helps people get a passion for art, because we just start seeing the power of legacy and impact. It's like we think we want to help 10,000 purpose-driven people really make a full-time living and a difference, but that's going to account for what people say, why not millions? That is millions. That will be millions of people through Matt, through Timmy, through you, you know, that are here inside of the VRA group and in the challenge group. And I'm curious, this was actually your point that I brought on here. You said, it's not too late, Tammy. You said you've got this. And so speak to that a little bit of what you've experienced and just recently starting your channel.
Yes, and first, I'd just like to say it's so inspiring just listening to all of you guys also. And honestly, 2 years ago, I would have thought, oh yeah, it's too late. But yet here I am, 300 and something thousand subscribers later. It's amazing how much growth you can get. And I think when you have tailored teaching like you can get from VRA and Think Media, it's just amazing how far you can go. But I'm just here to tell you that I'm a one-woman team. I still make mistakes. Everyone started somewhere. If you look at my first videos or when I came back 2 years ago, my videos were not doing what I thought they were doing, but yet just continuous improvement. And just like Matt was saying, being a continuous learner is just what will get you to the top. And it's not easy. If you compare your first video, if you compare your first few videos to my videos to Matt's videos, it might not match up, but that's fine, because that's my 100 and something video. And I think it's just for you to actually face your mission and just start now. Your voice matters. I'm just here to tell you that you might not have the biggest channel in the end, but you're going to make an impact to a lot of people. And I think that's what really matters, the people that just are waiting for your voice.
Whoo, that's some inspiring words there. And it is not too late to start. Listen, we want people to be able to follow you, and we've already shown your channel, and we'll have Matt on in just a second. But how could people connect with you? Shout it out. We've also got your Instagram. Go ahead.
Oh, sure. Yeah. My channel is Tammy Danso Art. My Instagram, Tammy_Danso. Post mainly art videos. I do have a second channel that I just started. But yeah, feel free to connect with me.
I love it. I love it. And then Matt, if people want to connect with you and learn faster, as well as check out any of your other resources, shout it out.
I'm at youtube.com/be smarter faster, because I show you how to be smarter faster. You know, school tells you what to learn. I teach you how to learn it. And in closing, I'd like to wish all of you the habits of the rabbits. Go forth and multiply.
Woo! Matt's got those phrases dialed, man. You got the taglines and the phrases. I appreciate you so much. Friends, can we just show some love in the comments for our guest today? Hearts and likes on this stream. Definitely check out their channels. Lifelong leaders are lifelong learners. I love being sharpened and inspired and challenged from you. From the habits of the rabbits. Hey, smash like. What a powerful conversation. Tell me in the comments right now or in the chat, what was your favorite moment? What was an aha moment for you? What did you like best? 10 tips. And if you caught those tips, I know a few people are typing the recaps. So drop me a recap of those. Stick around, because I actually have some very recent information to share with you, though, that I was inspired from this training. But share me some of your aha moments and what did you like best?
I love Matt's phrases, and I don't know if this will all show up on screen, but there's a rough screenshot emoji wise of all of the tips. Thank you so much for. Here's a cleaner one. Start and be consistent. You could screenshot that right there. There's your 10 tips all on screen. But listen, we really need to talk about YouTube Shorts. And then I have a limited time announcement that I need you to know about as well. So hit the like button, drop your aha moment. And let's dive into this really, really quick. You know, one of the things that it was powerful that Timmy was talking about was obviously what was happening with YouTube Shorts. And, you know, we're in the middle of this 5-day challenge. And if you haven't joined yet, I want to encourage you. There's a couple more days to get into this challenge at tube1kchallenge.com, and we might have a banner for that, and that link is in the description if you happen to be watching this stream publicly. But one of the things we need to know about YouTube Shorts is that YouTube's been making some updated changes. There's a new handles thing that's rolling out, which will allow you, just like we have Instagram handles, YouTube is allowing you to create a unique handle for your channel, specifically as more of a shorts feature so that it's easier to see, not like a long channel name. But that's one thing that's fascinating. But the other thing that's happening right now is I saw a question about revenue split, and Timmy was mentioning that there's the Shorts Creators Fund. Well, everything's changing. Going into 2023, YouTube is actually going to be releasing a whole new wave of ads on Shorts, which means we'll see a lot more ads. A lot of them will be playing in between. So you'll be swiping, watching people's YouTube Shorts, then an ad will play. And in these clusters of people consuming the Shorts, they're going to be giving you as a creator a 45% revenue split. So Shorts, a lot of people have been getting a lot of views, but it's going to a whole nother level. What some people are saying is YouTube's new ad program could steal content creators away from TikTok. So we not just have been talking about all this opportunity on YouTube, but one of the biggest opportunities is YouTube continues to grow, continues to innovate, and is continuing to find ways to give you money and to ultimately be the best paying platform in the creator economy. There's no question about that. YouTube just added the voiceover feature. So if you haven't taken the time recently, come on Challenge, come on Think Media Podcast, come on Facebook. If you haven't grabbed your phone recently and updated your YouTube app, when you go into your YouTube app, you can see all the creation tools. Number one. Number two, have you downloaded the YouTube Studio app? Did you know that there is a separate app called the YouTube Studio app, which is the back end with all kinds of data and analytics? Yeah. And then you also might want to get that YouTube Kids app if you're a parent like me. And although Sean Bradley's been 7 days phone free, Sony's on a whole nother level, man. She's like, we're going physical toys, no screens, and we're doing it. She's amazing. Listen, YouTube Shorts adds that. And then recently, this is fascinating because you may have wondered, should I do Shorts? Should I not do Shorts? Well, Todd, you can see on the left side of the screen there, that's Todd Beaupree. He's the product manager from YouTube. And he was speaking at VidCon, and he was actually talking about how Shorts were basically a little wonky when they first rolled out. If you posted Shorts on your channel, they didn't quite talk to long form content. You know, you might say, I don't like Shorts. It messes up the way my channel looks. That's all changing. One of the things he actually released was, he said, listen to this. He said, there's still more lanes under construction on the Shorts to long form bridge. Don't judge the traffic flow you're seeing today as the ultimate potential of this path. Mr. Beast was recently interviewed talking about the same thing. And they said, do you think TikTok is going to disrupt YouTube? He was like, nah, YouTube's going to crush this whole decade, man. YouTube is going to pay better. TikTok probably won't match that. It's going to absorb the creators, the consumption, the attention will be there. They're committed to connecting the bridge, as we can see here. The product manager is connecting the bridge, right, of all of that stuff. And so what does this all add up to? It just adds up to YouTube being the absolute best platform to bet on. They're going to organize and separate your YouTube channel going into 2023. So if you're like, I want my long form videos to be pretty and be on like the main page, and I want my shorts to be separate, they're figuring out what would be called the UI and the UX. That's the user interface and the user experience. That's going to be getting polished. They're paying creators. And if you don't want to do shorts, you don't have to, but it's a good idea that you could do. And you could see that so much is coming to YouTube in regards to the future. So much so. And here's a brand new quote, and I quote from the CMO of HubSpot. He says this makes YouTube subscribers the most valuable subscribers on the internet. What does that mean? Better than TikTok followers, better than Instagram followers, better than Facebook likes. YouTube subscribers are the most valuable subscribers on the internet. YouTube is the best platform to be betting on, to be investing in, and to be thinking about. So if you want to, of course, learn more about this, by the way, and you happen to be watching this, we stream this session on our podcast channel. And if you haven't registered, there's still some time to register. If you've been a part of the challenge, have you been loving the Tube 1K challenge? Let me know. And there's a couple more live sessions, and there is limited replays available. So I'm going to give you a few practical things to do next if you're serious about YouTube. 1, register for the challenge if you're not registered for the challenge. 2, don't miss the morning session. Now, I know we have a global community, but on the 27th of October at 10 a.m. in the morning, we get there early because we do giveaways. We have a whole nother session that's going to be amazing. We've been giving away just really tactical information to get access to all of that, which is not going to be streamed publicly like this stream. Tube1kchallenge.com. So definitely get registered for that. And I see your comment. I see you, Cheryl. This has been some great info. I love it. Jonathan says, I've been loving it 100%. Yeah, people, Raquel says the community and the live information has been amazing. Yeah, so definitely lock into the challenge. Yes, we are starting at Pacific time. I'm coming to you from Las Vegas live at this moment right here. And so definitely join us for this 3:30 a.m. Aussie time. Respect for the hustle. Additionally, a couple other things to know about is there is a limited time to join our special offer on Video Ranking Academy. And I saw some questions coming in about this, actually. Someone asked, is there a link to VRA? I'll share that with you in just a second. David, thanks for joining. I see joining VRA tonight. Welcome to the VRA fam. Excited to have you join. Shelton says, I just purchased Video Ranking Academy today and I want all the extra help. Teresa says VRA is the way to go. And so if you are interested in VRA, and I know some people were asking for the link, learnvideo2023.com is the link to a very special offer that we're doing. And again, this isn't false hype. You know, we pride ourselves on Think Media with transparency, integrity. When we do these 5-day challenges, which there's only 2 sessions left, 3 sessions left. We're on session 4. This is session 4. We put together the best offer ever to join VRA at the best price with the best bonuses. And what do I mean by that? It's not just our course called Video Ranking Academy, but we also have some special bonuses. And these are all at learnvideo2023.com. You could see them pictured on screen. We include our niche finder, video creation made simple workshop, lifetime membership, and we are including our full-time creator course. And so there's 3 reasons why now would be the time if you've been on the fence to join Video Ranking Academy. The first one is literally the timing, the opportunity of YouTube right now. Adobe just released this. You can see October 17th. Adobe's Future of Creativity study revealed that over 50% of US creators are now monetizing their content. The creator economy is on fire. And I know there's a lot of disruption in a lot of the different economy, but right now there's so much money flowing into the creator economy. And then what does that mean? It means content entrepreneurs, people creating content and building businesses around it. This is what the data shows us. There's 3 reasons to join right now. One is the timing. This next year, this next decade is going to be the best decade on YouTube. Influencer Marketing Hub said this, and I quote, I love this quote, the creator economy is the economy. And this is what they meant. It's nearly impossible for growing brands to succeed without partnerships with influencers or media channels. Did you hear that? The way that brands are growing, DTC brands, direct to consumer, merch brands, coffee brands, drink brands, the way they're growing is with influencers, macro and micro influencers. The creator economy is the marketing channel of today. So this offer, if you've been on the fence, if you're not interested in doing YouTube or you're not serious, or you're just dabbling, then no, this wouldn't be for you. But if you are serious about planting your flag, building your brand, starting or growing your YouTube channel, I want to invite you to be a part of Learn Video 2023, because number 1, now is the time to join. Number 2, the second reason is this special offer. And if you join by Friday night, we are including an entire bonus course called our full-time YouTube creator course. Everything you need to know about shorts, what matters most for growing on YouTube today, and specifically how to create the shortest path to building a full-time income. This course alone has a step-by-step workbook, some bonus downloads, and it's an $1,000 and $997 value on its own, but it's no extra charge. This is an extra bonus, just rewarding you for jumping in before the end of the challenge. Basically, the challenge ends on Friday. So between now and Friday, whatever you got to do, you can check out all the details at learnvideo2023.com. And then finally, to see everything you're going to get, the second reason, one is the opportunity in going into 2023. Two is the offer. This offer includes Video Ranking Academy, the private Facebook group, Camera Confidence, Niche Finder, the private group Q&A sessions, the monthly private group Q&A sessions, our Video Creation Made Simple workshop, lifetime access, and if you join by the end of the challenge, the full-time YouTube creator course. So the total value of this is $11,752, but we have a special offer where you'll pay over 90% off at Learn Video 2023. And so the final thing is the reason why, 3 reasons why to join now. Number one, the time. All this opportunity, shorts rolling out, monetizations rolling out. 2, this particular offer. This does expire. And if you go to the website, you'll notice there's a countdown clock. You can join past Friday, but I just have to be fully transparent with you. We're only going to be giving that full-time creator course to people who join by Friday at the end of the day, which is the end of the challenge, just as a fast-acting bonus to honor you for being an action taker. But finally, the third thing is the community. One of the powerful things about this, and for those that have been in the challenge, you might know, you feel the energy, you feel the Think Media faculty. This is where we invest our energy at Think Media at the highest level. Not just our team, though, but the other VRA members. When you get around possibility thinkers, when you get around people who see opportunity even in the midst of adversity, when you get around people who are being creative, when you get around people like Tammy and Matt DeMeo, like these are VRA students in our private group. You don't just have the course, you don't just have the bonuses that you're getting. You're not just joining at the right time, but you're also around a community of like-minded content entrepreneurs, around creative content creators, business owners, and people that understand the power of YouTube and want to be connected to a community of encouragement, a community where there's momentum building, and then in a community where this is what we geek out about all the time. Like, why wouldn't you invest and be connected where we live YouTube, breathe YouTube, study YouTube news, release the facts to you, stay on the bleeding edge, give you answers to your questions? This is just what we live. So again, this wouldn't be right for you if you were not serious about going all in on YouTube. But that's, to me, it's that simple. If you're serious about going all in on YouTube, you want to create extra income streams, be your own boss, go part-time, quit your job, go full-time, especially with that full-time creator course, I want to invite you to join us at Learn Video 2023. That is where all the details are. That is your next step. If you do have any questions, thinkmediasupport.com. There also is a chat bubble. If our team's not there, you can leave a message or just go to thinkmediasupport.com. We'd love to help answer any questions that you have. But I want to thank you. I appreciate you, Sharon. We are here to support you. Jose, thanks for being all in and being a part of everything that we're doing here. Grace is all in. Really, really appreciate you. And thank you for being a part of this stream today. That's right, Raquel. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals is inspiring. And we are here for you. And that is the community that we are trying to create. And so my name is Sean Cannell, Rhymes with YouTube channel. Thanks for being a part of session 4 of the challenge. Smash like wherever you're watching this. Subscribe or follow if you're not subscribed. And I cannot wait to see you inside of session number 5 of the Tube 1K challenge. And until then, keep crushing it, keep smashing it.